Wow, Not Okay is absolutely brilliant. So much better, 100 times better actually than I thought it would be. And the ending was just so powerful, it quite literally took my breath away and left me absolutely speechless. What is up everybody, welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Not Okay, which is a dark comedy drama, and I actually really enjoyed this movie so much more than I thought I would have done, and it's so much deeper than it appears on the outside. I mean, from the outside it probably seems like a bit of a trashy, contrived throwaway movie that you're just going to have a bit of a good time with, but it's not going to leave an impression. But it's actually far from that, and if anything it's the opposite of that, as it really does leave a positive impression on you, and it's so much deeper than it appears from the outside as well, and covers a lot of areas. For example, obsession, where is the limit, the consequences of certain actions as well. All of that and more is just so brilliant in this film, and I cannot wait to break it down for you in this movie review. So this film centers around its main lead character called Dani Sanders, who works as a photo editor at her magazine called Depravity, and she dreams and aspires to work as a writer for this magazine, and also dreams of becoming an influencer and really wants to impress her fellow colleague who is an influencer. One day she gets the idea of pretending that she's going to a writer's retreat in Paris, and because she is a photo editor, she is able to doctor a lot of her photos to make it seem as if she actually is in Paris. But things take a very sinister turn when a terrorist attack takes place in Paris at the exact same time that Dani was pretending and claiming that she was at the Arc de Triomphe. So everyone is obviously really panicking about her safety, but instead of confessing the truth, she instead leans into the lie, and the film then explores all of the chaos that then ensues. Now, from a positive point of view, I absolutely love this film. I feel like its look at social media obsession is really good, and I feel like a number of people, whether they want to admit it or not, do want to be Instagram and social media famous. So I feel like this movie actually, in some ways, you can relate to it, and it really does pose the key question, is it all worth it? Which I do feel like actually is a question that a lot of people can relate to. Obviously, this is a very heightened and extreme example of this, but I feel like actually in some respects, people can relate to the fact that, you know, their dreams may not end up being what they thought it would be when they do actually achieve it. And I feel like it also really examines online trolls and how this can really affect and destroy somebody's mental health actually, as it's quite easy to say something horrible in the comment section of a person's profile, but you really need to think that actually there is another person behind that, and it really does focus on that really well. And the Dani Sanders character just gets so carried away with everything, so even indirectly and unintentionally she is using a lot of people, and she only really examines people's worth based on the number of followers that they have. So it's really multifaceted, and I just ultimately feel like it's a really eye-opening movie that is just so much deeper and so much more powerful than it appears from the outside. However, from a negatives point of view, and these are just nitpicks by the way, I would have loved it if they had really delved a little bit more into the glamorous influencer life that Dani Sanders does get to experience when she does become internet famous. I mean, they do touch on it a little bit, and they definitely do show the dark sides of it, but I would have loved to have seen a little bit more glamorous side. For example, certain brands wanting to partner up with Dani, and also the male attention that Dani might have received because of this as well. They only really focus on that one guy that Dani is obsessed with. And also I feel like they could have just delved into the workplace jealousy aspect a lot more. I mean, they definitely do this, as this is ultimately what leads to Dani's downfall, but they could have just lent into it a little bit more. But like I said, you know, those were just a couple of nitpicks, as ultimately I do feel like this movie is really enjoyable from a storyline perspective. So from a cast and characters point of view, I have to say everybody quite literally put their best foot forwards in this movie, so let's go through them one by one. So first up, of course, we have Zoey Deutch, who was absolutely phenomenal as the Dani Sanders character. It's really interesting actually, as at first she is super unlikable. They even have a comment right in the beginning which says that the lead character is really unlikable, and she absolutely is, especially the craziness that she does do. For example, pretending to be a victim of a terrorist attack and then taking people's ideas and work and not giving them any credit for it. So like I said, you know, an awful character, but just the growth trajectory that she goes on and the real character depth that they go in with this character as well. I mean, right at the end of this movie, she doesn't say a word, yet you can feel everything that she is feeling, which I just think is absolutely incredible and is a real true testament to how close the audience is with this character and how brilliantly she was portrayed and how she just got so carried away with everything. Like I said, she was really, really wrong for doing all of it, but you can really see how all of the internet fame and all of the glamour stuff that happened alongside this really does get to people's head. And you can really understand actually in terms of when people are internet famous, how they really can build a big ego and think a lot of themselves, and just the downfall of this character and how her life just absolutely escalates both online and offline is just so fascinating. Next up we have Mia Isaac playing the Roman character. Absolutely incredible. I feel like she was so phenomenal as well and a true tour de force. She did quite a few speeches in this movie and every single time it just moved me, as you can just feel her passion. And I just feel like this actress was just embodying this character so fantastically that, like I said, you can just feel everything and you're just so close to this character as well. And just the way in which she does have certain confrontations with certain characters is just so powerful, and you can just feel it from both of their characters' perspectives. We also have the wicked Dylan O'Brien, who is playing a drug addict influencer in this movie, and I just loved it how at the start Danny Sanders is just infatuated and obsessed with this character and just feels like when she gets with him then her life will be made. And I really do love the fact that they really do show with this character that, you know, boys and girls just really aren't worth it, and when you do get what you want from them, or at least what you think you want from them, it really isn't going to be what you thought it would be, as obviously everybody dreams and fantasizes and romanticizes certain things. And I thought it was really, really important actually for this film to really look at that and really show that sometimes it really is not worth it. And we've also got Nadia Alexander playing the Harper character, and I just love the flip reversal that her and Danny go through in this movie, as at first Danny is a little bit jealous of the Harper character as she has the writing gig and has opportunities to go to retreats, which is exactly what Danny thinks that she wants. And then later on, when Danny claims that she did do this and tells a lie, which then obviously escalates in the way that it does in this film, then Harper actually becomes jealous of Danny. And I love the fact that actually Harper was the character that led ultimately to Danny's downfall. And I just do love this workplace jealousy aspect of this movie, and I just love, like I said before, if they had delved into this a little bit more, as this aspect for sure was really, really fascinating. So from a cast and characters point of view, this is one of those really rare movies where every single character's portrayal is just so fantastic and is just so powerful and really does build into the wider storyline and the powerful messages that they want to convey. So from a visuals point of view, Not Okay is really, really great. It's obviously a modern film, so it looks really, really good. And I absolutely love at the start of this film how Danny was photoshopping her dream life in Paris. And actually, it looked really, really convincing, and you can see why everybody was totally fooled by this. As actually the Danny character is a brilliant photo editor, and she just made her life look so glamorous, which I just think is a really great storyline thread in and of itself. They could have delved into that aspect a little bit more as well in terms of the fake life that people do create on social media. And like I said, the speeches mainly from the Roman character were just so powerful, and I just wasn't expecting it in this film. It was just so incredible whenever she got on stage, and the way in which she just delivered her lines were just so, so powerful. I love the influencer life angle as well of this film in terms of the perks of having a big audience and the way in which in some respects you are able to control people as well through this. And then of course it shows the negative impact and how your life can totally spiral out of control, and the online trolls, and like I said, the degradation of a person's mental health. So from a visuals point of view, Not Okay looked incredible, and just all of the representations on screen were just so phenomenal. So from a comparisons point of view, obviously this isn't the first movie that really looks into the dark side of social media. I mean, there are a number of other ones. For example, Andrew Garfield's Mainstream, Spree, Prank Me, Netflix's documentary Social Dilemma, Ingrid Goes West, The Circle, and Unfriended as well. So like I said, a number of other movies that really do look into the sinister sides of social media, but I just have to say I loved the way in which Not Okay really looked at the glamorous sides of this, the dark sides of this, in a brilliant wrapper of a comedy drama. So overall, to my surprise, I really, really enjoyed Not Okay. When I was going into watching this film, I thought it would have been, you know, one of those throwaway, silly, escapist movies, but it ended up being so much more than that. And it was just really, really powerful. Love the character representations, love the dark look of social media as well. I just feel like this movie was really, really powerful. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a brilliant 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of this film, so please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.